Hello, my name is Dean Thompson, and welcome to another Escape to Gaming. Today I'm very excited to bring you yet another fantastic AAA game from 2013. Now this is one I actually talked about in my 2013 games to look forward to, and I kind of had it as an alternate 5 games that I was kind of sitting on the fence. I've had kind of a love-hate relationship with the Tomb Raider series for some time. I played 1 and 2 back on the PS1 days and really enjoyed them. I also played a lot of Duke Nukem Time to Kill, which was made by the same game. A lot of very similar platforming. Fantastic games you can really get lost in. Later, there was a game I played, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, which I loved. It was one of my favorite games back on the PlayStation 2. I wish I still had the game, actually. I really enjoyed it. Really tough and challenging, but I liked the puzzles. Fantastic platforming, but the timing had to be absolutely precise or you just, go nuts trying to beat the level. So, a huge fan. I played Underworld, Tomb Raider Underworld, just a little while ago at my father-in-law's house a few years back, and loved the graphics, very rich with detail. I love the exploration, the fantastic puzzles, but again, with the camera and the shooting too. I love shooting games. I just had a really hard time, basically digesting the shooting and camera elements that were in those games. I thought it was really tough. So when this new Tomb Raider game came out, I wasn't sure if I would like it or not. I was very excited about what I saw, and I liked that it had a more realistic look at the Lara Croft character. I mean, naturally, the other ones had more of a almost a blow-up doll look to them. Which wasn't hard on the eyes, but it was a little cartoony. I'm like, well, why am I playing as this, little girl, bouncing around and doing flips and all that stuff? It was all cute and nice, but I just couldn't get into it. Well, when I saw the more realistic portrayal of Lara in this new Tomb Raider, I was a lot more intrigued with it. In fact, of course, it's a reboot. Now, we're seeing many more of these reboots with games like Hitman Absolution and other fantastic ones. They're taking people that either are fans of the franchise or they're trying to draw into the franchise with new mechanics, new polish, refining many of the complaints that have been known for some time. And that's the beauty of this new Tomb Raider. Now, with this Tomb Raider story, what they did is they took the Lara Croft and gave it a much more of a survival impact with the story and the characters, and I like that a lot. I really thought that really brought something special to the table. It made it a lot more palatable for me personally. The other ones I liked, but I didn't like them enough to actually buy them. I played the first 2 on my friend's console and really enjoyed the platform, but I just didn't like playing as a woman. I wasn't really crazy about, frankly, a lot of the mechanics in it. But I love the concept of it. I'm real big on completionist, trying to find all of the hidden things and scouring for collectibles. And this game gives you that in spades. I love the fact that Tomb Raider gives you so many different ways that you can play the game. Now, it's kind of like the game Wolfenstein, which I also like very, very much. It has a central kind of hub map that you can go into, and then from there you can pick out the different areas, which have a fairly linear, progression through them. But for the most part, it really does a wonderful job of kind of a perfect balance in many, many ways, this game. This game is all about balance. A balance between being somewhat open world, where you can kind of explore on your own, and at the same time fairly linear passageways and areas that you're kind of forced into. Kind of like a cinematic experience or a ride at Disneyland. You're strapped in for the, on the whole ride. So and it's chock full of quick time events, which typically I've never been a fan of, but they're done so damn well in this game. I mean, some of the finishing moves is kind of a timing thing. We have a Y button on the Xbox 360. You got to hit it just the right time, and if you don't, it has some just gruesome, gory kills. I mean, it makes you gnash your teeth when you die in the game. That's one of the things I like about it. It's a very realistic, gritty, violent, and even gory game, which I love. You give it headshots of blood, just like plume, flies up in the air, or against the wall or something. The way the enemies and the death animations, the way they spin back when you shoot them, fly back, is fantastic. I mean, when I got a hold of the shotgun for the first time, just to watch their interaction with the characters and the shotgun was over the top for me. I mean, this game has so many things that I really have just really drawn to about the game. It's a fantastic experience. It's all about polish, and it's all about balance with the pacing, with the gameplay, everything. That's what I love about this new Tomb Raider. You have spectacular set pieces. I mean, the level design is some of the finest level design I've seen in the last decade. I've never seen anything like it. It's almost like you reached down into my subconscious and pulled out everything that I wanted in an adventure game and then manifested it into this, and worked it and crafted it into this fantastic game. It's one of the things that I think is just unbelievable about this Tomb Raider game. It gives you so many different ways that you can play the game. You can just go through it fairly quickly and get through the levels and get just a few things along the way to kind of get you through there, and it progresses you along. You slowly get better weapons and upgrades as you're going through the game, but if you take the time and you really just slow down and enjoy the journey. I mean, I probably added, at least 6 hours into this game, just standing there looking off cliff sides and looking down and getting my wife and saying, you got to see the graphics on this, and it's just amazing. This game is all about escapism. It literally is the embodiment. This is one of the top 10 escapist games I've played. It's one of those special experiences that you come across, like when I first played, Red Dead Redemption, that same feeling, like, within the first 15 minutes, this is special. This is the kind of a game that's lasting, the kind of a game you can return to, the kind of game that you never sell. L.A. Noire was another one. The game, Wolfenstein, for me personally, was another one. So many of these games that sink you into the immersion, the Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb was another one that you just get lost in. That's what I love about this game. It's like they reached into my mind, pulled out the things that they knew that I like, and many other people, we all like these same things. That's what they give you with the game. If you take the time and you find all of the salvage in the environments, and you focus on the finesse of getting the headshots and doing stylish kills, you really can up your XP. Through that, you can go into this beautiful weapon system and upgrade system where you can do, frankly, great functional upgrades for your weapons that actually work. So I really enjoyed that process. So I took the time and, like I said, added many hours onto the game, just scouring, looking for locations. So the game is all about pacing. But sometimes it's relentless. Just one shootout after the next. You're just like almost cinematically going through the environment. You almost feel overwhelmed, but amazingly you pull it off. You kill everyone, and you get to the next section. Oftentimes, the next segment will be an area where you can really just kind of take your time, take an hour if you like, and just enjoy the environment. Find the collectibles, and quite often there'll be certain areas you can see but you just can't figure out how to get to them. Not only are the tombs puzzles in the game, but the whole game itself is like one giant physical puzzle. That's what I love about the game. So you'll be up and seeing something, there's got to be a way to get to it, and you find out later, later on in the game, that you'll return to another level. One of the levels where these mountaintops are, these villages, there's like 3 different levels of environments that you can traverse. It's fantastic. So, I went nuts trying to find out, there's got to be a way to get down there, and then later you return to those areas. It's exciting as you look up and you see the other areas that you've been at. So these are many of the little subtleties that I love about the game. I mean, say nothing of the art direction and graphics. My God, I mean, just looking at Laura, the way she turns her shoulders and her hair and her head and moves through tight crevices or spins around and works around people as she's in combat. You can dodge people with a dodge button. It's very well done. There's just a tremendous amount of love, time, and care went into the animations. The overall set design, you're up on mountaintops, the wind's howling, blowing. Fantastic audio, by the way, that goes with it. Hand in hand, and the audio is going with the sound of the wind howling, the birds, and these Chinese lanterns are swaying in the wind, and the wood is creaking. I mean, this is one of the most immersive experiences across the board I've seen. chock full of polish, chock full of everything that you love in a real adventure game. They took the time. They could have cut this game probably, 4 to 5 months short and got it out to market, and it would have been fine and acceptable. They took the time to wait till the game was done right and polished. I give it high marks for that alone. So again, this Tomb Raider game is all about refinement. So what would a Tomb Raider game be without the wonderful tombs and puzzles that you have in it? Well, they have those here. They're different from Underworld and the other ones. Some of those have very, large areas and very elaborate puzzles, which I love. I'm a real big person with brain teasers and puzzles. I think that's fantastic. They have it in this game, too. It's a little bit more streamlined and simplified, probably, I'd say, for more the mainstream gaming that we have today. And you're seeing that kind of pattern, whether, again, like Hitman Absolution, many other ones. Even Far Cry 3 had a lot of similar elements. They kind of refine things and simplify them so you can get through the game and enjoy it. You can certainly crank the difficulty level up on it, but I find the game is pretty much perfect the way it is. I play on the normal difficulty. It's a kind of a game where you could probably put 15 to 20 hours into it if you're like me and just really want to scour everything. You could probably blow through it fast in 10 or 12 hours if you're just kind of making a beeline through everything and trying to get through the game. This is the kind of game that, unfortunately, right now my work is really picked up. I'm just super busy. I haven't done a review in a couple of weeks, in fact, because of it. So I'm just, trying to steal an hour and a half here and a couple hours there. And I have to get up at 5 a.m. And so I'm up, I was up till last night, 1:30 in the morning, and I had to get up and go to work. And it's tough sometimes because I want to see the next level so bad. I want to get farther into it. So whether you sit through in a couple evenings and play the game or you take your time like I do, it's a fantastic game. I can't recommend it enough if you love adventure. It's so beautifully done. Like I said, the art direction, the sound, the orchestral music that's just right, just appropriate, the right times, that just enhances the whole experience of being in these worlds. And a great variety of locations too. Again, you're in the water, you're up in the sky, up in the mountains with snow, kind of these lush, jungles or forests, these rough, shanty towns, very gritty. Just a lot of things that make you wonder throughout the whole game. What the hell is going on here? Who are these people? What's going on with the island? You take the time to find the documents, and even those, they have wonderful, not only words on the screen, but you'll have the voice acting that goes with it as each one is read. And this is the kind of thing where I don't skip through these at all. I'll sit there just mesmerized by trying to take in the whole story, trying to get a feel for what's going on with the whole overarching story in the game, the characters, what might be coming. So it's keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's one of the finest stories. The actress that played Lara Croft did an incredible, impeccable job. Beautiful capturing of her personally. Her voice is very believable. This is a game, it's really an interactive, kind of a submersive experience where you're just deep down inside this whole experience of being Lara Croft, figuring out who she is, what she's made of, can she survive, can she rescue her friends. That's what this game is all about. So Tomb Raider is all about refinement. They refine all of the issues that I had problems with the older Tomb Raiders. The shooting mechanic is fantastic. The cover system is nice. You just slide in behind cover. If there's any enemy shooting at you, you don't have to hit a button. She automatically knows to dive in. If there's tight crevices to go through, she squeezes through automatically. It's very fluid. There's just a real fluid feeling of movement through the game. The platforming is extremely refined. The shooting, which is one of the biggest issues I had with the older ones, is way refined. It's a delight, in fact. In fact, it's a quantum leap in so many ways. I wish other third-person shooters could rise to what this Tomb Raider is. It's a great game. Now, it also has these base camps to where once you go to the camps and you can upgrade your character and weapons, and you have the ability to go back to other camps. So, in fact, I was missing one collectible I just couldn't find. And then later I got a shotgun, which enables you to unlock, certain doors that are locked. So there's lots of things where matches and lighters and certain weapons that you can't use early on. So there's certain ways you can't get through. You can't get through another door or get to another area. But you know that there's something there that later you can return to. Well, later you'll get these upgrades and be able to do it. So it uses these camps, these base camps, and you can fast travel back to these other areas. So I went back to find this one thing I just couldn't find. And it was great, and I found it. Of course, you have to fight, a whole bunch of enemies all over again, but it still was great. You can go back to the base camp and then fast travel back to where you were. So it gives you the chance. And of course, now when you go back to those areas, now you get the upgraded weapons and stuff too. So these are the kind of details that I notice, I really like personally. So this game is about refinement. It's about a perfect balance. Even the tombs themselves are fun. They're not too difficult. The game overall in the normal difficulty is relatively easy, not too bad, but enough of a challenge where when you beat a level, your beach enemies, you really feel good. You feel there's a sense of accomplishment, but not so grueling that you just want to take a Mac 10 to the side of your head. Some games can be a real grind. Even Max Payne 3 at times near the end was just like, my God Almighty, I literally was just ready for a nervous breakdown by the time I'm done with it. This game is a real joy, though. It's just a pleasure to play, and and there are many times where 3-4 times I have to do a couple of the real hard levels, but I still enjoyed it. I had a blast. I never whined about it or complained, and it's got a very forgiving checkpoint system. So this Tomb Raider game is all about pacing and refinement. It's really, if this is the direction games are going, we're in for a real treat, guys. So I can't recommend the game enough. If you're sitting on the fence, for the love of God, go out and get the game. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think it's really the embodiment of the ultimate Indiana Jones type experience. That's coupled with this wonderful realism of the story of Lara Croft, a much more believable character and likable character. Some of the other characters are I guess, fairly stereotypical, but it works well with the story. It's a good story, are great characters, wonderful voice acting, and it's an experience that you can find very believable. It's not hard at all to just escape into this game and just melt away to another world, and that's what I love about Tomb Raider. So I hope you enjoyed the review. Hope it was helpful. If you're sitting on the fence, of course, there's many other wonderful reviews out on it, but this is one that I had to review. I was just so excited about reviewing the game. So thanks again for watching. I'll have more rants and things coming up in my time, back in the 80s and 90s. I'm still working on those real soon here, and then I'll have some reviews. There's a couple new games coming out and some older ones that are some of my absolute favorites I want to share with you. So thank you very much for watching, and enjoy your games, guys.